You have to stop living a life of obligation and start living with intention. And I think that for so many of us, a huge part of our journey is we feel so obligated to live the life other people want us to live. Mm-hmm. And for me, my liberation and my freedom and living my life most fully has been every time I can block out those voices that tell me that it's not okay. You can imagine, like, here I am. I'm a Christian. I'm a pastor. I started Mosaic. But I design clothes. Do you know how many people hate that I do that?
Right.
I design really high-end clothes.
Yeah, they're cool.
And,
you know, I'm not cool enough to wear them. They're too cool.
People go, how dare you make a jacket for $10,000? You know, what about the poor? And, you know, I coach people and, you know, and then all of a sudden, well, how dare you make money? And you know, but you don't want to make money from the church, but you can't make money from outside the church. Mm-hmm. Or no matter what I do, there's always haters. There's always someone who's going to think I should live my life differently. And I remember one time someone said to me, I love the fact that you don't worry about what anyone thinks. And I go, it's not true. I've worried so much about what people think. It matters to me so much. I see one criticism on social media and I feel devastated. I see one attack on a DM or something and I'm just like, oh, I'm such a bad human being. And what's so strange is I usually hear the critique and I accept it and go, yeah, you're right. I need to change or I need to grow or I need to fix this. And I realized most of my life I've lived with those voices and they have so much power. Mm. The only difference is that my inner voice that tells me you need to live this intention has always been more powerful. Mm-hmm. And so I wish I knew how to silence all those voices. I've never figured that one out, Lewis. But I do know how to make them powerless.
How?
Your intention.
Yeah. You
need to know what your life is about. Because how can some stranger know what your life should be? Mm-hmm. But the problem is that if you don't know what your life's supposed to be, that stranger has more power over you than you. So you need to wake up in the morning and know what your intention is, what your life is about, and what your calling or purpose is. And when I wake up, I love this time when I started a fashion company. The first time my wife thought I was out of my mind 10 years ago, and she was like, "What are you doing? You're like designing clothes and bags." I was like, and this time when I told her, "Honey, I'm starting another fashion brand," she goes, "I'm so happy for you." She goes, I've never seen you happier than when you're designing and creating.
Cool. That's cool.
And she could just see the joy in me. And my daughter, Mariah, came up to me and she said, Dad, I know you do a lot of things that matter, but when I watch you creating and designing, I never see you happier.
That's cool.
And so I realized I have to give myself permission to do things that bring me joy. And I know that sounds ridiculous, right? At 65, I should already have permission to give myself joy. But I feel such the weight of the life I've lived, of the reputation that I have. Believe it or not, Jesus really matters to me at an incredible level. I would never want to do anything in my life like to dishonor who he is. And that I carry the weight of that so deeply. And yet at the same time, it's never been Jesus who's limiting me. I've actually felt tremendous freedom in my relationship with Jesus. I feel like
express yourself.
Yeah, I feel like from God's end, he's like, go design clothes, dude. I feel like God's like, go create, go do that, go explore. Who cares what anyone else says? Mm-hmm. I actually think God is the one on my side going, just go for it. Yeah. You only have